Hey guys, what's up? It's Umbruhh here, bringing you guys a new video. So today, I'm going to be doing a Final Fantasy XIV commentary, and today I'm going to be talking about the problem with Final Fantasy XIV's PvP. So, I like Final Fantasy XIV's PvP. I think it's really fun, but my problem with it personally is I don't think it's as structured as compared to most MMO PvPs. And what I mean by that is, it just seems lifeless at times. Like, the game just feels like the PvP in Final Fantasy XIV just seems kind of there. Like, in Feast, your team doesn't really feel coordinated, so people don't really know what to do. They just attack, they don't really have a strategy. And the same goes for Frontlines too. Like, it isn't getting much attention in the Final Fantasy XIV community. Like, most people, when they're on like Reddit or GameFAQs or YouTube, when there's videos, they're primarily about PvE and like how to solo raids, although you can't even do that, so don't try. But I mean, like, the best tanking meta for like raids or the best DPS rotations for PvE, but there's not really much spotlight for PvP in Final Fantasy XIV. And that could be because of the rough release it had in Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. I mean, when Heavensward came out, PvP got significantly better, Frontlines became better, and I guess you could say a little more structured. And they introduced the Feast, which was like, not really, I would say competitive, because they have leaderboards and competitive rankings in Final Fantasy XIV, but I feel like it still didn't really help much. I mean, like, it's a bigger, way bigger step from the fold from A Realm Reborn, which was only 4v4 compared to Feast's 8v8, and I guess there's more to it than just an increase in player size. It could be because they've added a whole new bunch of things in the Feast. Although I haven't really played the Fold, I don't really know much about it. Another problem I particularly have with Final Fantasy XIV's PvP is how job requirements aren't exactly enforced in Feast or Frontlines. Like, I mean, technically the Fold kind of did have this rule enforcement, if I correctly remember. And Feast 4-on-4s, they require you to have one tank, one melee DPS, one ranged DPS, and one healer. So like, it's even balanced out, and you got everybody doing a role they're supposed to be doing. One melee DPS getting up close and personal, one ranged DPS to get enemies from afar, one healer to make sure the group doesn't die, and one tank to just, I guess, tank the enemies and grab hatred. But another thing about that is I don't see how tanks really benefit in PvP, because it's not like a mob where you just grab aggro from the mob and they already attack you. Like, they're like the people in the Feast, they aren't, aggro doesn't really work on them. I mean, AoE aggro abilities do kind of stun them, like Dark Knight's Unleash, but they really have no reason to attack you unless you're trying to kill them one-on-one. But even then, since if you're a tank, you obviously have the higher defense, so you'll kill them first, probably. Although, if they are doing more damage than you, it's kind of a mixed bag. So, I kind of want to see tanks to have more of an important role in PvP as well. And how 8-on-8, I mean, I know it's more casual based, like 8-on-8, you're just supposed to play with friends, screw around in PvP. But it's just kind of annoying when, like, you get 7 DPS's, 1 tank, while the enemy team has like 4 DPS's, 2 tanks, 2 healers. It just seems kind of like an unfair advantage when people just choose to be lazy with job classes. And I feel like it should be more enforced. Like, let's say if there's every role in the party, like a DPS, a tank, and a healer, like maybe you get Wolfmark bonuses or an XP bonus, although you're level 60 when you feast. or Frontline, so that wouldn't really make sense for XP to gain, but maybe increased wolf marks or increased ranking, like you rank up faster. Like, that's just my personal idea, and it just doesn't feel as structured, and it doesn't have much headlines in like Final Fantasy XIV's community compared to PvP. I mean PvE. I'm hoping in Stormblood, the Square Enix, they'll try to add more to PvP so it feels like more like an alternate to PvE. Like somebody who doesn't want to raid can PvP for gear instead, although that might seem a little bit too easy because PvE actually takes skill. But I just wish that the PvP in Final Fantasy XIV had more recognition and was more structured compared to ESO's Guild War 2 or WoW. It pains me to say it because I don't really like WoW. Anyways guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you all liked it and subscribe for more content like this. If you have any more ideas on how PvP could change and your problems with PvP, leave your comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. I've got my new machinima coming out soon, types of players in Final Fantasy XIV, and I will see you guys later. You guys are awesome. Umbruhh out.